one day at a time. You can't think in terms of 50 years from the start. You have to just be determined to make it work every single day.
I first saw her at a street dance early on that semester. Told my roommate, there she is, look, same girl. So I went down and cut in on this guy, asked her to dance.
Then the next thing I knew, he was cutting in to dance with me. And so that, of course, made my heart flutter. And when someone tried to cut in on him and he didn't let him, I thought, oh, that's cool.
So on the second date, took her to her apartment, was standing just inside the doorway. Interestingly enough, I actually heard this audible voice that said, this is the girl you're going to marry. And it shocked me because I wasn't even thinking in those terms.
We were married on May 29th, 1969.
This is our wedding picture standing in front of the Salt Lake Temple. She looks perfect, I look dazed. I got a degree in political science. At that point I had decided to go to law school, but Uncle Sam came knocking on the door. I was going to be drafted. It was the first year of the lottery. Vietnam was still going on, so instead of waiting to be drafted, I enlisted. July of 1970, I went off to the Army. Here we are, standing in my Army uniform and my Army wife standing next to me.
Of course, the Army used to say if we'd wanted you to have a wife, we would have issued you one. So I'm his Army-issued wife.
We have 7 children in this early picture. And as you can see, we all have BYU shirts on. We're BYU graduates, so we brainwashed all our kids to go to BYU.
And now our grandchildren.
And we experience highs and the lows, the joys and the sorrows. And some of those sorrows are very deep. Now this is our 7th child's funeral, Shannon. I consider us war buddies. We have been through a lot, good and bad. A war of sorts, you know, challenging. And so now we've survived that together. Our hearts are knit together.
You think you're so in love when you're young, and you are, but then the more time you spend together, that love grows and matures and increases. And we still look forward to seeing each other. If I get up first in the morning and he's still in bed, I can't wait until he gets up, you know, so we can talk and be together.
You have to carve out time for each other. You have to make sure that you look at each other in the eye sometime during the day and convey that.
It wasn't just till death do you part, and it is for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. If you do it together, it's much easier than trying to struggle along on your own. We've had our differences for sure over the years, but we've always been able to eventually talk about it, work through it, then we kiss and make up, and that's just been the pattern our whole married life. We're totally opposite otherwise, but in the important things we totally agree. That's why it's worked for 50 years.
Did you say 50 years?
I did.
Looking forward to another 50 years.